It's Wildcat wrap up. So happy to be here with you guys like I do almost every Thursday when Judson and Livia remind me because my day gets away from me. But want to first do a huge thank you. Most of you have heard by now that is our 25th anniversary this year of saving lives. And it was really cute because I've been planning what the 25th anniversary means for the sanctuary, kind of reflecting on what we've done together over the last 25 years, but also what the future looks like, including, when I look at myself in this, I talk about age spots, thinning hair. I mean, 25 years is 25 years. And so what does the next 25 years look like? But what I forgot is that it was my 25th anniversary here at the sanctuary. I thought of the sanctuary, but not necessarily like 1 year of service, 5 years of service that we do for other staff. And so the staff, volunteers, and a few donors got together and did a really nice surprise for me yesterday. And we did a luncheon and kind of looked back at some of the things we've accomplished. And then so many people had sent really wonderful messages and wonderful cards to celebrate 25 years here. And so I thank you guys for recognizing that, because I recognized it for TWS, but I truly didn't recognize it to myself till other people brought it to my attention. And that was just really special and really fun to see. And sometimes a little scary when I look back at what it was like 25 years ago, what we had to do 25 years ago to survive. Some of the industry things that I learned and that we did the wrong way. And thank God we learned from it, and we're able to change and move forward. I think no matter where you start in any industry or anywhere in life, you're always on a journey of learning. And I'm not ashamed of things we've did on the past, but wow, I'm just so thankful that when it was a small house and a few cats and smaller enclosures, that people believed that the vision I had was actually going to come to fruition. Sally, many of you know, I think she said 18 years? Crazy. And Sally started out as a sponsor parent back in the day, and she came to one of our old sites for a visit, and it was just so different then. And she said there was positive and negatives, of growing to this big organization, and she's so proud of it. But she was just surprised that when she came for a tour 18 years ago, that she's like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever get to meet the director, not knowing we had no paid staff at the time. And, I was doing the tours and volunteer coordinator and all that. And now we have a team of amazing people with specialty skills that do so much to keep the sanctuary going. And you guys make it possible with your donations, your sharing, your educating the world, the emotional support you give us, financial support, hours of volunteering. It is definitely a 25-year-old journey that took a team. So thank you guys for that. And with that, we've shared our strategic plan for what the next 5 years look like, and we'll expand that into 10 and 15 and 20. And so I invite you, if you haven't seen our strategic plan, to go to our website under the About Us tab and read the strategic plan called Sanctuary for Life there, so that you can see how your input really helps shape what we want to accomplish moving forward and being a sustainable sanctuary for the cats to come. So thank you so much for that. I know the biggest thing you guys always want to do is hear about cats. But first, I want to remind you that Uproar, the next issue of Uproar, will be in your homes in the next few weeks. If you haven't, if you donate $25 or more, and we have your address and you're within the United States, you will get signed up for Uproar automatically, and that comes out 3 times a year. You'll definitely want to sign up and give your $25 annual gift before then, because this issue's already gone out. But our issue in the spring is our yearbook issue, which has every resident photo here. And so you'll definitely want to make sure you get that in advance. Also, if you've missed past issues of Uproars, Again, if you go to About Us on our wildcatsanctuary.org website, all of our past issues of Uproar are there in PDF format, so you can read all the stories. And the nice thing about Uproar is it's usually sharing news or different stories that you don't see on social media. They does cover some of the new rescues, but it's new content too, and beautiful, beautiful photos taken by Judson and Olivia and others on our team. So, some updates. Yesterday, we were just really grateful that we had an ophthalmologist come out. We have a team that has been really, really wonderful to us and come here to the sanctuary to see the cats, to determine if they then need to go to their clinic for surgery or if they can do it on site, just to limit the stress of the cats. And so yesterday they looked at a lot of cats. So Bengal Tiger has hyperthyroidism, and it has caused we don't know if that's the direct cause, but he's age related, that he had another issue with his eye. And we were treating it, if you remember, and it's been doing great, but the pupils can sometimes be different sizes. So they looked at Tiger and they didn't think there was any big concerns. They did recommend trying a different medication for a few weeks, but either it will resolve or it won't, but it's not causing him any pain. Bestie, the snow Bengal, she has like the herpes virus, and a lot of the snow Bengals we have kind of that herpes virus, and Bengals in general do because they come from catteries, that they have inflammation of the eyes and nose. And so she gets, because she has the white and the lighter coat, she scratches it, you can see the inflammation a little more. So they've recommended some kind of ongoing supplementation for her. Aiden, the little Asian leopard cat, he is the one that came with the one cataract even as a kitten. We don't know if it's genetic or from trauma, but he sometimes squints and holds it shut. And they were able to get a good look at him in his little room without sedation, which was really important to us because Aiden is one of our really sensitive souls of the Asian leopard cat. And if he's separated from his new friend Apollo, he goes off food. If you try to catch him, he flees. We set up a live trap hoping that he would do that himself. And so we wanted to make sure that if he had to be sedated, we could do everything at once versus sedating, waking him up, and then having to bring him down to the clinic for surgery or something in a week, because we know he's going to go off food for almost a week if we do anything to him. Snow, the cougar, is very similar to that, just very, very sensitive. So both Elise and the veterinarian were able to look at Aiden awake from a distance, but with the right equipment. And it is a mature cataract, even though he's a kitten. There's nothing to do at this point. It doesn't seem to be causing him pain. The squintiness, she thought, is more of a behavioral reflex. He really gets watery eyes when he gets nervous and people are close to him. So it doesn't seem like it's anything with the cataract. But if that cataract resorbs or cause any other issues in the future, they said that removing the eye would be the best way to proceed, but they don't think that's going to be a need in the near future. So that was wonderful. Pandora, if you remember, Pandora, or Tiger, had a little bit under the weather a few months ago, and then she had some cloudiness and abrasion in her eye, and we don't know if she scratched it from she was down and out, but we were really cautious because of Kimba and his degenerative eye disease. So they looked at Pandora, and it does look like that was an old injury, and what we're seeing is some scar tissue, but she was fabulous, and she definitely let the veterinarian look at her through the fence. And so then we also had Bobcat Sarge. He had something that was very different. It almost looked like he had something in his eye, is a nice way to say it. And the caretaking staff noticed it right away. He was bright, alert, and responsive and didn't seem to have any issues. But it was just not normal when Dr. Campbell looked at him. And so the ophthalmologist was still like, wow, I haven't seen that in a while. And I'm not using the medical terms they say because I had to go look up some of them, what they are. But it was more that it's not hurting him. It's like a piece of his iris might be in there, so it might look misshapen, just the iris and the pupil, but it's not anything concerning. He's not in any pain. And then Josie. Everybody knows our little Josie girl. So Josie was also seen, and we were really concerned that we might be removing that second eye. The good news is that the eyeball itself is not an issue. What seems to be her issue now is, just like other cats, she's having some herpes virus flare-ups, and it's causing her soft tissue or conjunctivitis inflammation, like in her eyelid, and so then, and it kind of above her eye. So then she scratches that, and then she hurts her eye on top of it, and that's what happened on the other side. The good news is that the other eye that was taken out, there was also a bone fragment from where she had her crushed skull originally, and so we think that solved that problem. The good news is that the ophthalmologists say she is pretty much, just like Dr. Campbell said, she's pretty much functioning blind right now, and so she's still doing everything she is. So if we do eventually have to remove that eye for any reason, that she's going to adapt just fine. But right now we're trying a different medication to see if she'll take it, to see if we can get some of that conjunctivitis inflammation down, so she'll leave it alone. So we'll keep you updated on that. And then it's been busy this last week. Onboarding Katie, who's our new operations director, we're excited to have, and we have animal care manager coming next week. And these are what we kind of talked to you guys a little bit about. Are really our people. You guys know our animal people, you know our donor people, you know our veterinarians, but it's really time to continue with Kelly and Teresa and those who are wonderful, who have moved on to their warmer lives, and we miss them, but we will always be friends with them. We wanted to welcome some managers of people that can really make sure our training is always on par, that people have development opportunities within our organization. As we know, our bodies time out as caretakers, and we don't want people to not have a career at TWS because their bodies give out at 40, 50 years old. We want them to stay here. They have a wealth of knowledge, compassion, and so how do they move up here at TWS? And then on top of it, when we get new people, we want to hold everybody accountable to TWS standards so that everybody is rowing the boat the same way. We're following the same safety protocol, which is really always our highest priority. And then the psychological well-being of the cats is a second priority. And so we're really excited to bring, they're animal lovers too, but they're not like caretakers or things like that. They're people that really know how to empower people, respect people, and make sure our organization is always supporting the staff. And a huge shout out to Kelly, who departed, and Teresa, because all of them were huge assets to our organization. And I'm always so touched by everybody that's played a role here. And we always invite them back for volunteer days or to see their cats, and been texting both of them already. But with that, we've also been doing cat playdates. So Minerva, the little Asian leopard cat, and Fargo, if you remember Fargo, he came to us as an F1 Bengal, but we really think he's 75% content, or he might be even an Asian leopard cat, especially his behavior is Asian leopard cat-like. And he had been with Dream, Bonsai, Kisa, and Felix, and he was a little intimidated by Felix. And so we have been trying some play dates with Minerva, thinking an Asian leopard cat might be a little better. And so far, those play dates have been great. So if you are a sponsor of Fargo or Minerva, stay tuned. Hopefully, you will get some videos of those play dates in the next week. We'll probably have their first overnight next week when there's a little bit of more time. And then Fargos Yard, he's finally getting outdoor access. So when we move these little Asian leopard cats around, one is we want to make sure they know where their heat source is and they're coming indoors and enjoying the safety zone where they get fed and there's warmth. And then that gives us time to truly have the caretaking staff inspect every part of that yard. I always say rescuing tigers, Bengal tigers, is easier than rescuing Bengals, and really easier than rescuing Asian leopard cats, because they can get out of the teeniest hole. They're like a little weasel. So the staff really goes through and inspects every little spot. They're also known for fighting through the fence, biting each other's feet, so they make sure there's mesh on all the shared walls. So it's a big undertaking every time a cat is moved. And we just talked about this morning, Minerva was going into Fargo's space. So if the merge does happen, they've done everything inspecting for Fargo, and that process will start over again to inspect for Minerva, who might move in, because Minerva is probably, I wouldn't say she's only a third of the size of Fargo, but she's definitely pretty small. But there's been some great interactions. They do a lot of rough play, a lot of fast play. But that seems to be what the behavior is of the Asian leopard cat. These guys are a little bold and tussle, but there hasn't been any aggression. So we're happy about that. We had a huge venison delivery this week. I think 10,000 pounds, and we have more in storage. And so the cats are enjoying that, rotated into their diet. We have removed some of the trees. An inspection was done for Miko and Ripley to move into Bogart's enclosure and Bogart to move up near Kaya. But because those Canada lynx are so young and spry, there are some trees that are closer to the fence that Bogart enjoyed but was not having any security breaches, and we just want to be cautious. So Jesse and Bobby are facilities people were removing them today. I also thought would be really interesting today is to share with you, remember last week I shared with you how many of our cats are over 15 years old. And so you can definitely go back and look at that live post again, because we have a lot of geriatrics. So this week I thought I would share with you kind of the numbers of species of cats we have. And I know our website again has all of the cat species and their stories, so you can always go visit them, but wanted to kind of run down. So we have 149 residents right now. We are a 100 animal facility, so if you do the math, that puts us at capacity, one of our highest capacities we have. We really are trying to merge cats because it's about the enclosure space we have, not so many how much cats. We're never going to grow to be a 200 animal facility or bigger, but most of the cats we have accepted recently are small cats. They're not the big cats. But so now we have 8 Asian leopard cats that are with us today. And that's not including the ones that came to us as F1 Bengals and probably are Asian leopard cats. These came to us and arrived 8 Asian leopard cats. We have 10 African lions. And I remember the years when we were down to just Shanti, and now we're up to 10 African lions. We have 29 bobcat, and not any two of these bobcats are similar. They're each individuals. They look different. They act different. I think to somebody that doesn't know cats very well, bobcats look like bobcats, but that's not the case. And bobcats and the small, like Asian leopard cats and servals, are the biggest number of calls we get and requests for sanctuary right now. We have 3 caracals, 3 cheetahs, 11 cougar, 2 leopards, and both of those leopards are melanistic. They're black. We have 1 lilager, and we have 3 Canada lynx. Those are the, fluffy ones we love. And then I always say when we have 2 Eurasian lynx that are also known as Siberian lynx. And those are the lynx that everybody thinks looks like they're on steroids. They are beautiful, large, and that's Beauty and Aria. And my question is, does anybody have guesses on how many servals, African servals, we have here at the sanctuary? Curious if anybody has any idea off the top of their head. I'll tell you, it's more than cougars. 30, that's a big guess. Don't put us up that high yet. Thanks, Paul. Linda says 28. We're getting closer. Any other guesses? Wendy, you say 17, and Jane says 15. Jane, you get the gold star. We have 15 servals, 1 fishing cat, 15 tigers, and then we have 25 Bengals cats, Bengal cats, 16 Savannah cats, and those are the hybrids. We have 4 domestic cats, which are pretty much our office cats. And then what do we have 1 of? Another thing. Anybody? What am I missing? A really important one. That would be Kiara the dog. We have 1 dog. So I'll run down that quickly for you guys again. I know these are facts you guys really love to hear. So Asian leopard cats, they are the small little guys. We have 8 of them. African lions, the sanctuary is home to 10. We have 29 bobcat, 3 caracal, 3 cheetah, 11 cougar, 2 leopards, 1 lilager, 5 lynx, which 3 are Canada, 2 are Eurasian, 15 African servals, 1 fishing cat, 15 tigers, and then in our hybrids, we have 25 Bengals, 16 Savannahs, and then a total of 4 domestic cats and 1 dog. So when we always have that wish list and always have cat litter on there and always have the soft cat food, it's because with those, 41 hybrids, we are going through cat food, the soft cat food. They also get our boneless chicken, they get vitamins, but they do get the wet cat food on top of it as well. And they do, even though they don't usually urinate in litter boxes, they do poop in their litter boxes. So we do need litter. So if you go to our Amazon wish list or our Chewy wish list, we could never thank you enough for how much comes in. I actually just was doing the in-kind donations from last year. And if you think those don't add up, you guys together donated about $100,000 of direct animal care supplies. That is money that we didn't have to write a check for. That's money that can go to direct care for the cats because you're buying and donating off of our wish list. So that's wonderful. So somebody's saying, how many species of cat or animals do we have? So wildcats, it's hard because a lot of people don't consider the hybrids different species or a lilager different species. So it's really, if you're talking about scientific or not, how many species we have. The domestics are one, species. So it's really how you do the math. Otherwise, I'd give you a count. But if I say this, somebody's going to say, well, a hybrid isn't a species. A lilager isn't a separate species. It's a cross species. So the world, when we mess with nature, is not as simple as it used to be. So the other things I've been working on is, even though it's winter and winter is finally just hitting, which I say I wish it wasn't, but we're supposed to get minus 20 degree wind chills or even colder over the winter or over the weekend. So the staff is, we reviewed all the winter protocol again of what cats need to be locked in, what cats don't. Our goal is always that our buildings stay at 40 degrees. You don't want your buildings to be hotter. I mean, our Serval building's about 50, but you don't want them to be hotter because cats going from heat to cold, especially when you have urine and straw, can cause pneumonia and fungal pneumonia. So we just want them to be able to be comfortable, have their bedding and things like that, but they also have their thick winter coats. Even the African lions do because of our temperatures, and they will overheat. Many times we will see lynx still just sleep outside, even though they have heated den boxes and heated bedrooms. So we really leave it up to the cats. And then we have backup generators as well. So if heat sources went down or electric went down, the generators kick in. And then Jesse and Bobby train the caretakers and the staff on emergency heat systems, propane systems, that if a building went down at night, that they can hook up a temporary heat unit in the building to get us through mornings so that we're not calling emergencies in the dark to work in big cat buildings. So a lot of thought goes into winter for sure. I'm trying to think of anything else. That was kind of it. Oh, but with winter here, I'm already thinking of spring. So we're already working on what projects are going to be, when volunteers are going to be here, when crew days are scheduled. We're also, the fence company that was supposed to come work on the bobcat habitats tomorrow has reached out to us and asked if they could come next week instead. So we'll keep you posted on that progress. You will be seeing that we're announcing a new hybrid area when we get to, when you get your first Uproar magazine. And I've been finalizing that contract and estimates, and that's a big project. It's pretty much as big project as the Animal Care and Wellness Center were. So I'm trying to think about anything else that I've missed, you guys. I always love updating all of you, and I appreciate you tuning in. And I think that's kind of it for this week. We do have, I ordered I'm ordering new things for the gift shop on site for when volunteers are here. I just doing outreach flyers for our outreach booths so that we can share and spread the word more about no more wild pets and the big and small cat crisis. I've been working on a rescue this week that I hopefully with partnering with another sanctuary. We have a cat that was on the euthanasia list that was trapped at large. Hopefully finding home. We will know next week for sure if they'll release that cat to a sanctuary. But yeah, it's been a wonderful week, and now we're just gonna hunker down for the cold, and we will see you all next week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.